2024. If you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chris, would you call the roll, please?
Emerson.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Muta. Prieto.
Here.
Rakos.
Here.
Salinas.
Here.
Button.
Here, let the record reflect 6 are present in chambers and 1 is absent. Next item on the agenda is a consideration of past meeting minutes. You should have received in your board packet a copy of the minutes of March 4th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, make a motion to approve the March 4th minutes.
Councilman Salinas, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emerson. Moved and properly seconded. For the meeting minutes, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Emerson.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Muta. Prieto.
Yes.
Rakos.
Yes.
Salinas.
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 6 in favor and 1 absent. Next item on the agenda is the report on the work study session. Immediately prior to this meeting, we reviewed agenda items. Is there any other discussion? No. Next item is item 6, funding. Commissioner Moore, do you have a report for us?
I do, yes. So everybody should have received the 2024 Capital Improvement Board approved projects listing. So this is going to reflect all of the allocation sheets that we have committed to today. And then on the second page, you should also see in blue lettering, those are the ones that are pending before us. If for some reason those do not move forward for the new members, I know this is your first time seeing this report, I will remove those and the funds will be reappropriated to that total unallocated funds, which is yellow at the bottom of the budget summary box. So a preliminary balance from 2023 is being rolled over of about 1.705 million. Dean and I have to meet to go through some of the allocation sheets that should be canceled out from 2023 that were allocating funds towards ARPA projects. It was a temporary home for those expenses until the council acted and adopted the next plan for the ARPA spending, and I moved those expenditures as a part of my year-end cleanup. So now we just need to clean up all of the green sheets and reappropriate those funds into the 2023 remaining balance that will roll forward. But as of right now, we have allocated about $5.8 million worth of projects for 2024. We've received our first quarter budget, which is 1.702 million. We should be receiving our second quarter budget at our next meeting. I don't show that we've received our March payment yet from the gaming, from the casino. So I will, as soon as that comes aboard, Mayor usually sends out his letter to the council members, gives that appropriation first, and then CAB's appropriation will be reflected on this report. So as of right now, we have about $2.79 million in accounts receivable for grant funds. So those are reflecting any of the allocation sheets where we have allocated the full amount, but we're only obligated to say 20 or 10% for the total project cost. But of course, we're expending the full amount, so we're allocating the full amount, knowing that we're going to be receiving those funds later. Taking us to a total unallocated funds amount as of today's date of $357,000. So as I mentioned, that'll increase at the next meeting. Gaming's a little bit low, so we'll probably see somewhere around what we got in the first quarter, if not maybe a little bit less, but we're trending down in gaming. So unfortunately, that means that CIB will also trend down in the amount of funds that we're receiving. And that's about it. Any questions?
Questions for our control? Thank you for your fine report.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is matters from mayor, council, and other departments. Anyone wishing to address the board from those entities? Hearing none is item 8, the old business. Is there any old business to discuss? Seeing none, item 9 is new business. We have 3 action items. Item 9A is a funding allocation, Pullman North Approach at Sibley, construction engineering with First Group Engineering in the amount of $43,600. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Moore and properly seconded by Councilman Salinas for the funding allocation for this project. Is there any discussion? This is the construction engineering or observation, inspection. We don't like using those words because they sort of tend to have a higher level of scrutiny. But we're observing to make sure that the construction is consistent with the design. And it is less than 10% of the project, which is certainly sort of our standard for projects such as this. This is sort of a smaller project, and generally what you'll see is higher than normal engineering proportions because of the smaller project. What we're doing is, previously we approved a construction with Milestone on the north approach of Hammond at Sibley, which will create a new right-hand turn lane that allows better truck turning movement and people who want to bypass our downtown corridor to State Line, as was recommended by the Downtown Hammond Master Plan. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Emerson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Muda, Prieto,
Yes.
Rakos,
Yes.
Salinas,
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 6 present and 1 absent. Next item on the agenda is funding allocation toll theater lot resurfacing in the amount of $153,000. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Prieto, thank you very much. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emerson, thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded. For the toll theater lot resurfacing, is there any discussion? So this is the lot immediately east of the Paul Henry Studio on Sibley, and we're just simply referring to it as the toll theater. It's a Hammond City parking lot that is certainly needed to support the businesses and the events that happen in downtown. We just refer to it because it's close to the toll theater. We know the toll theater has parking, and they do have shows coming up in early May, so that we will have to coordinate around their schedule as well. But this is basically to add some drainage structures and a pavement and curb and gutter for an 18 lots parking lot immediately east of the Paul Henry Gallery. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Emerson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Muda, Prieto,
Yes.
Rakos,
Yes.
Salinas,
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 6 in favor and 1 absent. Last item on the agenda is funding allocation for Columbia Avenue Pell Study in the amount of $589,000 even. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Salinas and properly seconded by Commissioner Prieto for the Columbia Avenue Pell Study. Is there any discussion? This project is funded 80% by the Northwestern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, or NERPC, with a 20% local match, which amounts to about $117,800 of locally funded portion. What this plan is, we received an award from NERPC to plan and review the environmental requirements and linkages along the section of Columbia between 165th and Michigan. We know that segment of road is in poor condition. We've had a number of comments in recent city public meetings. When is Columbia Avenue going to get resurfaced? And it's complicated because it includes a couple of sewer force mains, a large diameter sewer force main from about Kenwood moving north, a 36-inch water main that's reaching its useful life, and obviously the roadway itself. And so this is a first step for us to go for a larger USDOT grant for a project that we expect to be in excess of $25 million for all the utility, roadway, drainage, infrastructure improvements. So the planning environmental linkage document will include the purpose and the need of the work, a condition assessment, traffic modeling and planning, an environmental scan or review, resource agency coordination with those resource agencies like IDEM, EPA, the Corps, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, those agencies, conceptual alternatives development, public engagement, and preparation of an action plan. All that for the low, low price of $589,000. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Emerson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Muda, Prieto,
Yes.
Rakos,
Yes.
Salinas,
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 6 in favor and 1 absent. So ends new business. Next item on the agenda is public expression. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the Capital Improvement Board? Anyone wishing to address the Capital Improvement Board? Anyone on the virtual media meeting site wishing to address the Capital Improvement Board? Seeing none, the chair does expect to have our next meeting April 15th, which is your tax day, unless that's been moved this year. April 15th, I know we'll have at least one action at that meeting. So if there's nothing further, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion?
Second. It's been moved by Commissioner Prieto and properly seconded by Councilman Salinas. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion